Well, good morning. I am back in Daydreams. This is a current Amazon item at the making of this video. So I've moved over to look at this flower right here. Yellows, especially with flowers, can be extremely difficult. Can be. White is even a little harder, but the same rules apply. It's the same concept. So I have grabbed my eraser because I never know. And then I've got, let's see, this is Sand 940. These are all going to be Prismacolors. It's from the largest set. Then I have 917 Sunburst Yellow. Then I pulled 1034 Goldenrod. So you're going to notice it's any cream, then a yellow, and then a yellowy brown. And then I pulled a brown. This one is Sienna Brown 945. So if you just remember a light, medium, dark, and then a very dark. All right. And really this is not that dark, but it's how you'll know which shades as we're going across. Let's get a little tutorial here going that's within the tutorial. See how when my hand is laid across, you get light across here. Oh, my hands are looking old. There's light across here. Then right underneath is the shadow. It's dark, and then it fades out to light again. Okay, if I'm closer, it's going to be more prevalent. If I'm up, see how that blends out? Same thing's going to apply with these flowers. All right, so I did the lights. The lights are going to be all of these flips because they're on top. Okay, then what they flipped over is going to be light also right there. Notice I'm not going all the way up to those edges. Okay, because that's where that shadow is going to be. Let's finish the flips off first. So that was our first color. Now we're going to go to our second color and just get the flips finished. It gets just a little darker along that back edge. Notice my hand. This is on top, but on that back edge, it's just a little bit darker. Okay, so let's get those all in. Not difficult at all. I don't know where all of my viewers live, but here, oh, we had storms last night. We saw a light post in town that did not bend with the storm. It literally broke off at the base. Yeah, there was a squad car, police officer sitting there just getting traffic to go around it. It's a pretty bad storm. Okay, so that finishes all of our flips. Then next is going to be right next to the lighter color. So I'm going to come along here right next to it. Yeah, the storms were so bad that we got word that there is now a tree in my in-laws' backyard that is going across part of the back of the house and in the yard. They said it didn't really cause a whole lot of damage, but I don't know, I've not been there. Seems like they can't get a break here lately. They still don't have hot water. It's supposed to be getting fixed, I think, today or tomorrow. But I'm actually making this on Monday, which is holiday. here in the United States, so it may or may not actually get done today. It may wait till tomorrow. So anyway, just life. So you can see. Now I didn't do right here because this is the edge and I want it to look like it's overlapped there. Same thing here. I left that light and went up beside it. Okay. So now coming around this part though, under that flip, and still leaving room to get my other colors in there. Just traveling around that lighter shade, unless it's already right at the edge. Now this one is going to be a little different because we want to leave shadows underneath where our little critter's sitting. So I'm going to skip it for a minute and go ahead and do this one. And then we'll come back over to that. Right through the middle here, because I want lights on top and bottom of this so that this looks like it's one step up. Okay, so this guy, we're going to go right around him. I left room so that I can still sneak another layer of color up next to him, and it'll make it look like he's got a shadow. Whoops, I forgot this over here. Now I didn't put the lightest color here because it's under this. Okay, so that's why I'm starting with this second color. And we'll always come back with my lightest shade and do some blending. So I'm not too concerned about my blending right now. This is my third shade. This is my goldenrod. And this is going to be going up to my edges. That's that little shadow that's underneath this overhang. Same thing here, a little shadow. Not concerned with blending just yet. If you can blend a little as you go, it's going to help you out later, but not as concerned just yet. Okay, now I'm going to go underneath this guy. And I will probably come back and do this little insect in gel pen, in a glitter, so that he kind of sparkles. Okay, then coming on around here. Now there's a lot of space here. See, these are the stamen or pistons. I forget which it's called at this point. But yeah, there's room behind all of those. So I wanted to be sure and get those done. It'll just push that background further down in there. And again, I will probably do all those and this with a glitter gel pen. Yes, I do like the glitter gel pens. I like my Poscas also now. Just getting color in there. Then I'll go back and do some blending. So you can tell it's not really that hard. It's a matter of picking your colors and getting the layers in there right. Finding out what's on top, what's on bottom, what is in front or behind. Take a rose out of your flower bed if you've got one, or buy one at the grocery store. They're cheaper there. And just pull it apart and look at the different layers, and that will help you a little bit. See, this is a little darker because this is flipped over the top of it, and it's shadowing it. Get your layers. You're well on your way to doing some dimensional coloring. Okay, now I am going to go back in with my darkest. Now this is where we got to be careful because this can make the colors deepen, but you can get too dark really quick if you're not careful. So just coming up in here, just on these back edges that are way down in there. And it's going to lighten up a little bit when we come in and blend. But if you can make your darks a little bit darker, it's going to make your lights look a little bit lighter. And you can see I just went all the way around that. In here, I'm just going to get the very back edges, kind of like where his legs connect, and then that V between the wing and his thorax. Here, I'm just going to get right up in here in the edges, just in those deepest areas. Just get a little bit of brown up in there. And don't overdo it. Look for those V's. Look for those areas that are pushed down in. Imagine going down the hallway. It gets darker and darker as you go. Down into your basement without the light on. Up into the attic. Okay? That's what we're after. That bit of darkness that's way back in there. Okay, let's see what else. These ripples here are going to show you where the light and dark is in the folds. But I'm going to come back in and do some blending first. I'm going to keep my circles kind of small because I don't want to spread those colors across the page or across the flower. I want the colors to stay right there, but I want them to blend. And you can see in this one petal the difference just blending makes. Look at the difference in this petal and this petal. Can you see that? Just by going back in and blending. So go back in and blend each one. Don't go across the whole thing at once. Stay within each petal so that you don't drag the darker colors across into the other petals. And see, I'm going to go ahead and blend through here too. Now I'm blending in a dark area with a light color, so I'm going to flip my pencil and make sure there's not a lot of brown on there. There's not, because I didn't want to drag that up into a lighter area. So anytime you're blending with a darker pencil in a lighter area, it might be good to look at that pencil before you take off and go to another section. I've done it with white. Trust me, you don't want to do that. So staying within each section as you're blending. And see how much lighter this is here? Because it's on top of this one. It really is just a matter of figuring out what's on top and making it lighter than what's on the bottom. And then looking at those flips and seeing what area, like right here, is on top of the other area underneath. And if you wanted a brighter yellow than this, then pick brighter yellows. That's not even a problem. Go for it. You can always draw. No, I know everybody, oh, I can't draw. It's just for you. Nobody else will see it. Draw a flower and practice coloring it. Okay? You can do that. Even if you just make ovals for petals, and then a dip now and then for the little overhangs, then you could still practice. Whoops, there's a bit right out there that I missed. And you can say it's harder, but it's not that hard. It's really not that difficult at all once you've done one. But by all the color we're putting in there, it does make it look like it's got some depth to it. Now that I've blended, I am going to come back in with my third color. I think it was goldenrod. Yes, goldenrod, 1034. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to do right behind where it's bowed out. See that hump right there? Now, it looks more like that's really humped up. See how this is humped up here? That means it's going to be darker behind it. All right, so here, this is up. So it's darker behind it. You can fade that out. Right here, actually it's coming up the other direction. We could say it's down. See how it made that look? It makes it look like that is recessed. So it makes it look like it's like this. I did both sides and left this on top. Both sides, left this on top. Okay, let's do a little bit more in here. You have to just figure out which way you want that little hump to be going. And then do a little bit behind it so that it actually looks like it's puffed up. See, this is puffed up over this. I'm going to make this part puff over this part. Or do I want it that? Yeah, I want it that way. So this time I did that one in the middle, puffed up over the outsides. Okay, so you decide, but just get you some darks in there, and then that way your flower will take on even more shape. See, now we've got more lights and darks. Now, because we shaded, we lost a few of our darks. So let's go in one more time with the dark and really get those darks dark. But then I'm going to fade out. And just really get light, light, light as you fade out. See the difference in that and that? Okay, so let's fade as we come out. And if you didn't fade fast enough, come back in with your lightest shade and let it do the work for you. Let it just blend those colors. All right, I'm going to put some more of this in here. I see white showing through from my paper. You know me, I like to get all that out of there. So here I go again. A little bit more of the dark. And then just fade it out. Light, light touch. And I'm heavy-handed, so you'll see. See, I just did it. I was right here. I scoot back on the pencil some. And that makes it where I can't push quite as hard on my paper. because I know I'll snap that lead if I do. Just get you some darker tucked up under there. It's the same thing no matter what color flower, y'all. Your placement of your darks and your lights are still going to be the same. So if you're doing this page and you're like, yeah, but I wish you'd have done it in blue or purple or red, same rules are going to apply. You're still going to keep your lights and darks in those same places. Same places, just different colors. Just doing some tweaking. Okay, we're just doing a little bit of tweaking here. Go back in with my lightest and make sure I've gone to the edges of all these little areas. Get it really blended. At that time, I just moved back on the pencil to try to keep my hand out of your view. I am bearing down pretty good on my pencil right now. Trying to get all this blended nicely. And I think it's really just about done. What do y'all think? Do you think you could tackle a yellow flower? I bet you could. Just look for the flips. That's why I picked this one. It had lots of flips and stuff in it. Okay? Just watch for those flips. Okay, we've got about 6 minutes left. So let's go over here to this one. Okay? Same rules are going to apply. Now these aren't flips as much as layers. Now that's a flip. That's probably a flip. This is a flip. Some of this is flips and some of it is just layers. Okay, that was first pencil. Then the second one. And if I didn't think you couldn't finish all these, I would do another video. But I really think after watching this, you can see where the flips are and stuff. Third pencil, underneath, the flip, at that edge because this is on top of it. Anywhere where it looks like it might be deeper down in there. Okay, back to my lightest because I forgot to get all of this. Okay, then I'm going to go to the dark and I'm going to do those areas that look like they're way down in there. See how that just pushed your eye into looking down there? That's what we're after. We want the viewer to roam around the page, not just look at one area and call it a day. We want to pique their interest. Okay, back with my lightest to blend. Yeah, I did not take near the amount of time on this one because we're reviewing what we did on the first one. And that's it, y'all. Just keep going. Keep going. You got it. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, there's a subscribe button and a bell, I believe. Get notifications. Loved having you. Thank you for hanging out with me. For my regulars, thanks. Hope I'll see you again next week. Well, actually in about 2 or 3 days. But anyway, that's it. So just keep going. Have fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye.